If you're familiar with the Naruto TV series, then you'll be aware of Rock Lee, who is one of the main characters in the anime. Like the main character Naruto, Rock Lee's fighting style is often described as taijutsu, which is a blend of various martial arts. You could even go as far to claim that taijutsu is used in Naruto to describe what many call Jeet Kune Do. In this video, we shall be taking a closer look at what taijutsu means and what Rock Lee really uses when fighting against ninjas on the show. As you'd expect, it's a mash of various styles and is made to look good in order to entertain fans watching the series. In the Naruto series, Rock Lee is taught taijutsu by his teacher, Might Guy. It's not surprising that Rock Lee looks very similar to his mentor, considering he mimics not only his looks, but also his fighting techniques. Simply put, taijutsu is a blanket term in Naruto. It is a mixture of various martial arts that mostly involve striking, using both punches and kicks as opposed to grappling. Most animes prefer to use this style, as it's probably more realistic in all honesty and looks better for the audience. When observing Rock Lee's main fighting style, it's probably most comparable to Taekwondo. In fairness, you could easily say that it also looks like karate, as there's a lot of overlap between the two. However, Taekwondo edges it, as it's generally a more stylish approach to fighting, which is more entertaining for the audience. On a similar note, you could also say that some of Rock Lee's kicks are certainly from karate, if you wanted to get into specifics. One of his moves that is definitely from Taekwondo is the Superman punch, which could be seen in his bout against Gaara. Once again, this ties in with his exciting fighting style. When it comes to using Taekwondo moves, Rock Lee often throws a mixture of roundhouse kicks and dramatic flying jump kicks. In other words, if you were to be on the end of one of his kicks, it would seriously hurt. Aside from throwing kicks, Rock Lee also throws punches as well. This style is akin to Chinese drunken boxing, which is a legitimate martial art. Its name comes from the idea of fighting like you're drunk. Ideally, you'd be relaxed and calm, which would lead to more fluid movements whilst fighting, as opposed to being rigid and stiff. Defensively, it also involves leaning back as if you are drunk, and relies on extreme balance and base to pull this off. This can be observed with Rock Lee, who has a very relaxed fighting style, which is good. In real life, the ex-UFC champion Anderson Silva had a style that was similar, and this served him well. As for Rock Lee, it means that his punches never seem forced, yet still yield a lot of power. In case you hadn't already gathered, Rock Lee is actually based on the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. For instance, Rock has the same birthday, the same haircut, and a similar name to the Hong Kong icon. Unsurprisingly then, he also shares similar fighting techniques that were used by Bruce Lee. For instance, one of these styles used by Rock Lee is Wing Chun. Arguably, this was Bruce Lee's most famous martial art. Rock Lee will rely on intense hand speed and arm speed whilst blocking and diverting punches from close range. This all comes from Wing Chun. In terms of fighting stances, in his fight against Gaara, Rock Lee uses a kung fu stance, which involves having crouched legs, with one arm and hand extended in front of him, with his other arm placed behind his back. Over the years, this has become an iconic stance, and is similar to the tiger stance used in traditional kung fu. In fact, this pose is so legendary that UFC champion Israel Adesanya even mimicked it in one of his MMA fights. It's no secret that Adesanya is a huge anime fan, including Naruto, so it's not too surprising given the circumstances. Although not quite the same, Conor McGregor used to adopt a similar pose, which was used to show confidence whilst fighting. As you would expect, Rock Lee is a well-versed martial artist who is skilled in multiple disciplines. For the most part, his fighting style revolves around kicks and is most similar to Taekwondo, with a mixture of karate, Wing Chun and Kung Fu mixed in. This means that if you were to fight against Rock Lee, your best bet would be to grapple him to the ground by using wrestling, whereby you would nullify his strengths, and then finish the fight by using a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu submission. This would not be easy though, as getting close to Rock Lee would be dangerous to begin with. As confirmed, he's a very skilled fighter, but also due to his martial arts lifestyle, he's also incredibly strong, athletic and conditioned.